Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game, or get the newest version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $5. I just looked that up as I was starting the Let's Play. So anyways, on the last Let's Play, we failed to save Cooper because, well, we haven't gotten to the point where we're able to save him because it's not been written yet. But it is what it is, sadly. But maybe we'll do that another time. But for now, we're going through Max's backstory some more. And Max's twin brother? And here's set my face. And begin. Morning. Also, we're going to go over a little bit of the stuff we did, but that's not too far. Sorry. You look so cute when you're asleep. I could stare forever. Crap, we're already so late. Max must be already waiting for us. Come on, put your pants back on, and let's go. We have a busy day today, Luke. Oh, So Luke did get some sausage with the Dachshund. Dachshund? But they're there early, I guess. Can't remember what the last thing they did. No, they were trying to assassinate Rune Moon, who was leaving. Someone's in a good mood today. You always put me in a good mood, Luke. But on top of that, I'm quite optimistic about today's haul. It's supposed to be Sir Shepard's first excavation return, right? Why is everything turning red? I expect great things from him. He has ridiculously sharp intuition and eye for detail. He does, doesn't he? Sharp intuition, huh? Yeah, to things and people both. Is something the matter? No, nothing. It's just that, even after all those weeks, he still acts weird around me. We just don't seem to be able to see eye to eye. You know? I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Oh, Luke. I put my hand on the human shoulder and smile as we keep walking down the corridor together. So here's the thing that I've been thinking. Because it says we're not Max. We're like Max's twin brother. I wonder if Max's twin brother, this guy here, is the person we know as Max, and Max isn't Max. You know what I'm getting at? It's so weird. His mind is so vastly complex. I can't comprehend his thoughts with empathy at all. And yet, he himself often has issues understanding seemingly obvious things sometimes. I could just tell him the reason for the shepherd's freakouts around him, and clarify it's not hatred, but something quite opposite. But I know I shouldn't. The human is mine. This misunderstanding works in my favor. Don't worry about him. People who know you know you're a good boy. I want to be called a good boy. Anyways, and he is too. He cut all ties with the Grove to be with us, after all. It's not like he was part of the army anyway, right? Being a shepherd and all. I still don't understand how that works for him. Both Burry and Rune tried to explain, but canine politics are weird to me, you know? Well, yes, technically, he was never obligated to work for the Grove, but by coming here, he pretty much guaranteed he'll never be welcome to the capital ever again. At least, not by the people who matter. And who is it that matters? I want to say the wolves in power, but I stop myself when I notice his curious, amused stare. I chuckle. I'm sorry, I worded it wrong. You know what I mean. Heh, yeah, it's okay. I think I do. Still, I'm happy we have him on our side, whether he likes me or not. It was ballsy of him to act against the Grove and come here for Rune. Maybe he came here, prompted by Rune Moon, like many others. But his decision and care spread wider than that. He generally cares about his community. For this. Max and I have less work setting bad apples straight ever since he came here. Yeah, he's almost as respected as Rune, isn't he? He can silence a dog with just but a single stare. It's good to have him on our side. Yeah, him, and many others. It's like I told you, as time goes by, Shelter will grow bigger, stronger, and more respected. There'll be no stopping us. He smiles. Where is it? Where did it go? It's okay, sir. It's okay. I'm sure it's still somewhere. Come on, Luke. They already started. I bump the human shoulder and run ahead, towards the many presences of dogs near the entrance gates of Shelter. Also, sorry, I'm getting over COVID. There we go. Max is already there, as well as the scout dog from Cooper the Caucasian's pack. Yeah. I assume the rest of them are to arrive shortly. Both of the dogs stand around the old blue healer. He's visibly and audibly upset about something. Calm down, sir. Please. It's not worth getting upset over something like that. I'm sure we can... Don't tell me to calm down, you daft pup. It certainly is worth getting bloody pissed about. Oh boy. What happened? Human. My pipe is gone. Okay. Max, fetch the pipe. You don't understand. It's gone. Look. Interesting. The old boy raises his arm, strapped in some sort of black sleeve, with circuits running across its length. There are some small letters and numbers painted on it. Is this a relic? Yes, I just brought it with me. We still don't know what it does. It turns invaluable things into smoke. That's what it does. Well, it was a smoking pipe. That's not a laughing matter. What are you going to do about it, whelp? I'm sorry, sir. I can give you one of my bones. I don't want your smelly bones. Mine was perfect. I want my old bone pipe back. For a brief moment, it feels like a sudden suction of air bends my fur in the direction of Thistle's open hand. And with a blink of an eye, out of nowhere, the bone pipe materializes between his fingers. It's still lit and spews smoke. Whoa! I want a gallon of cognac. Ah, do we all only get one wish each? I don't think that's the case. It's heavily based on rodent mana, with some additions of avian. I think this relic lets you access your rodent holding seal, but, without even touching the ground? But I've never used rodent mana before, human. And it materialized, still smoking. Stuff taken from the seal wouldn't do that. That's why this is perfect. This is pretty bonkers. Relics are basically built to bend the rules of magic in unnatural ways. It's a very good find. High-grade relic. Good boy. You better fetch a good price for it. In fact, I would be very interested in getting this one off your hands. How about that? The human closes his eyes and lets out a quiet sigh. Manavision. Such a convenient power. The Labrador wags his tail and nods, while Thistle continues smoking. The old dog doesn't seem to be in a hurry to take the relic off, despite its owner's patient yet expecting stare. Instead, he takes something from under his coat, a stack of paper filled with black ink, writing, and some sort of sketches. A sudden gust of wind blows against our noses, and all of the paper vanishes in a faint cloud of dust. All to Thistle's utter amusement. That's spectacular. All I have to do is just think about putting it away, and poof, it's gone. I know, right? But you better take your documents out, sir, because I need the relic back. But Thistle doesn't listen. Instead, he starts vanishing even more things. A bag of tobacco, an old and battered chew toy, a yellow ball gag. Okay. Sir? Stop your whining, boy. I'll buy it from you. How much do you want for it? But the human said, "Oh, that's okay. I'm fine with Thistle keeping this one. Still, I can't sell it to anyone before taking it to Cooper, or talking to Cooper." "Oh, that makes it easier. Don't bother, puppy. I'll have a talk with your leader later. I should probably go make sure they aren't lost." "You go and do that. Yes. I'll take my time familiarizing myself with my new toy. Rodent magic. I never thought I would become a green mage at my age." While the scout runs inside, the rest of us stay with Thistle, waiting for the group to return. It's amusing to watch the old healer acting so excited over this new relic. All the little experiments he does with it. With a bit of practice, he realizes he's able to use the relic's power, even through the arm it isn't strapped on. Then, a moment after, a glint of great realization flashes through his eyes. A more powerful blow of force blinds us for a split second. And the old dog stands in front of us, butt naked, with nothing but the relic on his wrist, and the bright burning smoke bone in his hysterically laughing mouth. I join in the laughter, amused. The human puts his hand on his face and lets out a tired sigh. While Max only wags his tail and stares at him with fascination, a few steps away from us. The smile on his muzzle is very faint, but his wagging tail and the brightness of his mind tell me all I need to know. It was a good idea to get Max interested in relics. I just hope he's useful enough to you. He is. He has a good nose and learns fast. He's also very good with his hands. Ooh. I think this is good for both of you. You can finally relax a little. Shelter is significantly more peaceful right now than the time we first came. With Shagbark and whatever remained of his pack taken care of, I don't even need Max to watch my back so much anymore. Who's Shagbark? It's been a while. Are you still angry about it? The thing with the winter nuts? Look, they weren't good for Shelter, and they didn't intend to change. You've given them enough of your patience. The things they did, they were criminals by canine laws. All I did was make sure they get the justice they deserve. By snitching to the Grove and send them to execution? To a trial, it's not up to me to judge anyone here. Depending on how the trial goes, there's a good chance they don't get executed, but just end up in a pound for a while. Either way, that should make everyone else think twice before they decide to, metaphorically, shit in their own den again. I know this isn't how you would like to do things here, but even you must see this for the best. So here's the thing, did we send them to go somewhere and tell the Grove that that's where they are, or did we tell the Grove they're here, and then the Grove just kind of walks up and goes, "You guys are the criminals, you're coming with us"? And you certainly know I didn't make that decision frivolously or without good reason. Everything I'm doing is for the good of you, Luke, and for Max, for everyone here, for our family. While Thistle is busy fooling around with the ancient relic's powers in front of Max, I hold the human hand and stare into his eyes, wagging my tail and smiling. That never fails to turn his frown upside down, and it comes pretty effortlessly to me. After all, I'm not lying. I speak nothing but the truth. I know, I'm not angry. I'm pretty well aware that was something we should have done a long time ago, but that just felt wrong, you know? Really leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Burry and Rune feel the same. Nobody here is on good terms with canine authorities. Good thing they don't call the shots here then, huh? Oh, you know what I mean. Rune is competent and can really follow through when needed, but he's actually getting more interested in chasing tails than doing any actual governing. And Burry Tangleroots? He'll be fine. He just really likes to following orders, huh? You don't like Burry too much, do you? Oh, I do. Of course, I do. What are you... Acri. I may not be able to use empathy, but I'm neither blind, nor deaf, nor stupid. You're so tense whenever he's mentioned. He really isn't a bad guy, I promise. Whatever it is that's bothering you about him, I'm sure it could be fixed if you two just talked honestly. Now this reminds me of a meme about Shelter where you see the human go, "Now I can excuse experiments on children, but I can't excuse racism," and then you see Teak go, "You can excuse experiments on children?" Anyways, I feel you'll be surprised with him. There's a lot hidden under that big, fluffy calmness. A lot of good. I can't force you to tell me things you don't want to share, but at least promise you'll speak with him, Acri. For me, I sigh, then my attention drifts towards the sound of irritated growls and frantic whooshes. Swooshes? Oh, it's Max, dodging a fury of Thistle's canine strikes. The old man has just gotten angry at Max over something trivial, as per usual, and now is getting even more furious, being unable to land a hit. There's so much innocent carelessness in Max's mind right now. How much longer is he going to be able to enjoy this life? As much as I hate to admit it, both our time and options are limited, and none of this work will matter when we finally run out of the ladder. Yeah, I think it's finally time. The human pets my head and scratches behind my ear, just like I once told him I enjoy. In truth, I don't like being touched, really. It's not as a general rule. Physical contact was never a good thing for me. I simply learned to tolerate it and use it. It makes him happy and attached to me. In that sense, my body has always been my second best tool, right after the sharpness of my mind. I knew that was the good of Max and me, or four. I had to use... Sorry, I just gotta go, it's still iffy. I had to use all of those tools at my disposal to win the human's favors. Luckily, that turned out to be much easier than expected, even without empathy. I feel like I grew to understand him clearly enough, just through watching him and listening to him. He really is fascinating. It's so surprisingly satisfying to work with. Suddenly, I can sense a wave of urgency from a few minds outside, running in our direction. I can hear barking and whining, And then the Labrador Scout from Cooper's team rushes back through the entrance, bumping other dogs in his way. Help! Help! What the hell is going on? Acri, human, please help. My pack. They were ambushed by bandits. I saw a shagbark and the winter knots among them. I swear. No way. It's impossible. They were taken by the kingdom's authorities. I swear I'm not lying. Please, you have to help them. Of course. I thought I got rid of them. That thorn in my side. I don't know what all this is about. I'm going to put stop to this for good. I'm not going to let them disturb my shelter any longer. I take a deep breath and let out a loud, sharp howl to echo across the metal halls. Soon, I hear dozens of echoes back, and multiple presences of many sympathizers start rushing towards our gate. Let's get this over with. Max, you stay close to me. You can coordinate others in pack mentality, but I forbid you from fighting. You are in no state to. More and more dogs join me, answering my call. But, Max, where? Acri. He's already outside. Like the scout told us, Shagbark and his cronies were indeed among the people who ambushed Cooper's squad on their way back to shelter. An unprecedented act of brutality on my people. Or banditry? Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering if it's like, hey, we didn't give them to the wolves, but maybe, sorry, yacht. Maybe the wolves are like, hey, get relics for us and we won't execute you. Maybe. It was the same group that was supposed to be imprisoned and put on trial in the south. I understood the implications of their presence back here straight away. As demanded by Rune Moon, the day in the castle, the Crimson Royal Grove didn't show any signs of aggression towards shelter. They weren't attempting to smother us economically either. However, with the shelter gaining its conditional independence came an important waking call. Since we didn't want to be governed by the Grove, we wouldn't benefit from their protection either. Crimes committed in the north of Majibrook were excluded from the wolves' jurisdiction. It was all our own problem now, and it was up to us to come up with solutions. My informant confirmed exactly that. I wish he was able to warn me about that a bit sooner. Why does everything have to work against me? It took so much effort to establish the authority of my... Give me a sec. COVID just hacks you sometimes. Anyways, the Pac-Man ship shelter, keeping everyone in line for the sake of Max's peace and safety. We couldn't just kill Shagbark, even though that was clearly the most efficient solution. I would gladly be the one to keep my hands soaked in blood for my brother's sake. But the human and his two comrades were too perceptive. I couldn't risk being discovered committing to concepts they were against so vocally. There's so much to learn about governing people, huh? I never thought I'd be in a position like that, nor did I want to be. All of this is out of necessity. I was always taught contempt for people in power. Those were often our targets after all. Egotistic puppeteers, shaping the world through the strength of others, we were told. Of course, I was never naive enough to believe everything the cats fed us during their conditioning propaganda talks. Or at least, I stopped what that night we finished our very first job. It was close to the southern canine border, An important political deal was struck between two important dog clans, strengthening the balance and security in that strategically important region. An arranged union between two young, promising alphas in training. We put an end to both of them in their own chamber. It was a smooth job. The Opal Pride did a thorough job preparing us for our first assignment. The infiltration, a quick strike, and out. With us being dogs, we were at much lower chance of being sniffed out by the guards than any feline assassins would be. We were out of their den and ran through the woods before anyone could notice us. However, it was in the woods that we were caught. By a sound. A voice. A loud cry of something back at the palace. We just fled. Sorrowful wailing echoing through the night sky. It sounded like one of the old alphas of the clans, but that voice, that pain, weakness, disbelief. It was as hard to believe as it belonged to someone we early observed leading a subject with such stoic strength and authority. It made Max stop. He looked in that direction, with his mouth gaping in confusion. His lips trembled, and he raised his bloodied hands to his face. As he listened to the cries in the distance, so did tears start to gather in his eyes, and he still kept quiet. He didn't whimper, even as he sniffed his hands and licked at the blood of each digit, and tears only dripped heavier down his cheeks. I was too shocked to even cry, dazed, tortured by the cries of the dog in the distance. I did my best. I did the best I could to think of for Max at the time. You did a good job, Max, I said. They were bad dogs. And I felt he believed those words, even if I myself didn't. At that moment, listening to the terrible voice I still hear in my nightmares sometimes, I realized that the dogs in power weren't really evil or good, strong or weak. They were just dogs. Now, I myself am climbing to the position of power, with shelter itself speaking through me, but I want to believe it doesn't make me any less of a person I always was. My dedication to my brother will never change. My brother, who acts recklessly the moment I take my eyes off him. He was never like that before we came here. The freedom is making him rash and disobedient. He knew very well he wasn't allowed to fight using his power, and he still rushed to help Cooper and his pack. He fought, and each strike with his feline style, he weakened the crystal in his spine. And once the battle was over, he couldn't hide the pain in his right leg from empathy. With the crystal begin to disintegrate, he started to develop pressure over the spinal cord. It took me the 2 following days to alleviate the symptoms through intense chiropractic and careful burning of the crystal dust, but there was no way to recover the particles that were already lost. I was furious at Max. I shouted at him, probably for the first time ever, made him swear on my life that he would listen to me and never participate in a fight ever again without my permission. He promised. I apologized for shouting. We hugged and promised never to make each other sad again. We were brothers, and we would do anything for each other. Anything. However faint the leads on his salvation could be, I follow each and every one of them to the end. I feel like I should cut it here since we're at the 30-minute mark. Since it seems like it's a new scene and we just hit the 30-minute mark. Ooh woo. So anyways, and at this, let's place a comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, because otherwise, If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, thank you, block right there. Then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay your animals to help control the pet population, because that is something that is important to me. Also, need to find out when Rouse is going to release this from stuff. Oh yeah, between last Let's Play and this Let's Play, he did do a thing where Rune Moon bottoms when you do his route, ooh, and also added some other stuff like a little bit of text. 3 new mysterious figures, new Cooper sensors, ooh. Anyways, until next time. Oh yeah, and when it will become public, so I can post this video. Anyways, until next time. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. So thanks and see ya.